Welcome to the Fantasy Take TV podcast. Today we'll discuss all things round 14, one of the tougher buys, but I dare say it's only going to get tougher, especially with the Butters suspension that's got just dropped, so we'll get to that soon. But yeah, good to be over halfway or 3/4 way through the buys. And yeah, Enno, how are you faring so far and how are you going?
Thought I might make up some ground, at this point in the season through the buys, especially being at, entering the buys at about, I'm just going to pull it up for you here, 23. No, wait, is that right? Yeah, it's about 23K. So look, I'm into 18K, but that's just not enough. So, look, I think I've been going up ranks every week, but it's been like 1,000, and it's just like, not really, like, for someone ranked where I am, it's not really good enough. So scored 1908 this week. Stuffed up the captaincy, which I'll not stuffed up, but didn't obviously get the best possible score, even though I thought I was going to. So yeah, I mean, Houston pulled his finger out his ass yesterday for me, which was nice, because I brought him in a couple of weeks ago and he hadn't done yet, so kind of made all his points back there for me. But it was Bont who I thought, I was going to the Richmond game. I was just telling you before, as a lot of us did. I think it was 93,000 there. It was absolutely chockers. And I was like, I'll check the scores of the other game that's going on. I hadn't watched a second of it and thought, oh shit, the Dogs have won by a fair bit. Bont must have killed it as usual. I'm like, oh yeah, bloody oath, he did. 3 goals, 160 SuperCoach. VC locked in, and I opened up the app and VC's on Luke Ryan. He scored 79.
Yeah.
So look, if you want to see someone checked out of the year, that's I don't think I've ever done something like that. Like you're always usually checking who it's on, and who it's on heading into the round. That's someone who's ranked 20K and has a pretty bad team because I didn't get Zorko in like a lot of people would have done on Thursday or Friday or whatever. So he was very popular. So I thought I'd had it on Bont, but no, had to roll into Goulden, captain, who I thought was the best. I was going him or Heaney, and obviously, picked Goulden, who scored the worst out of the two. Isaac had a big second half, I think, in that game. So, that kind of cost me, 60 points. So, scored 1,900, but not really good enough. And one man we should talk about. I mean, I've still got Tom Powell. He was terrible, so he can be a little bit relevant to this video, George. But Tom Green.
Yeah.
What I don't want to pull it up, but what were we saying about him in preseason? Like
M2.
Where were we? M2, maybe
M1,
M3 at worst. Has a chance of being M1, but the season this guy's had just reminds me of this.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
Like, we both paid, $650K for this guy, knowing that early. Wow, he had that early buy. Yeah, maybe not that much. I forgot what he was, but. And he had to do what he did the first 2 weeks to be worth it. And then since then, like, yes, he's had that injury game, but he's copped a couple of tags, George, but it hasn't been like every week. And he's just been terrible. Like,
marks and tackles dried up a little bit. Still getting his 28 touches, but yeah, you can probably say that for half of the relevant midfielders, to be honest. But it's been a pain in the ass. Nothing we can do about it either.
No. He's averaging 99. He's 450K. There's, I think someone said that Massimo's highest price than him.
Yeah.
Like, that's disaster class. And look, he's still going to be a great player, and he is. But there's probably the few people that when we said, he could be M2, M3, push back on it, and that they were right. Like, his disposal is just still not up to it. Like, he doesn't contested beast, sure, but if that's not going, it's a little bit like Rao that, kicking's not the best. A lot of clangers here and there. And if they're not absolutely feasting on the inside, their score reflects it. So maybe something to think about in the future. Like, you got Rao in as well.
640K.
For a lot of money, and he hasn't lived up to that price tag whatsoever either. So is it something with those type of players? Should we think more before we go from? But the thing is, they can get on such good like hot patches and actually, put up huge scores. But when that side of their game's not going, they don't have the other avenues. Like, do you think we should think more about that in the future?
I don't know. I think maybe they've only had one season, or Rouse never really been a proper premium, really. And Green probably was on the back of a good second half last year when he returned from his injury, where he just went 120 every week, basically. I don't know. Just thought sorts of wrong. Like young player on the up, maybe Rao. The sort of trajectory was there, but it just didn't eventuate.
That's sort of probably kind of my point with Sarong. He has more of an all-round game, right? You'll see him. He'll be shameful. He'll come up, and obviously Freo do that themselves
Hit up
is
for the
in the
mark.
game style, but he'll present for those cheap possessions. So if he's not winning it on the inside, he can still push along and get an 8-touch quarter and score 30 points and keep ticking along. Whereas these guys like Green and Rao, if they go missing, I mean Tom Green does still do that at times, but I don't know, just something to think about. Maybe it's just a poor year, but anyway, just That'd speak for the people then, because I know a lot of people started him, and then a lot of people would have got him in at that sort of price point when he dropped a little bit, and it's just been terrible. So
yeah, if you haven't had him this whole year,
he'd be
he'd
laughing.
be massive. So yeah, but yeah, to your point,
How'd you go?
To me, I was gonna say like this SuperCoach is pretty much you lay your bed in round one in the first few rounds, and then you can't really recover. Like you can, but you can't truly recover to anything like prize-worthy. So no, it's tough.
Not these days. Too many people know what's going on, are good at the game.
Yeah, you got to be across everything every week.
Absolutely.
Like new role changes pop up and stuff. So yeah, I scored a 1960. I'm ranked 900. I'm in deep trouble this week, and I posted my trades on Twitter. I never posted my trades. I haven't posted my trades this week. I suppose you probably haven't even opened Twitter this week, but
I think I did. No, I've still got notifications on for you, mate. So I think I did see it at some point, and I did think, "What the hell were you doing?"
That's what everyone said. Yeah, I trade English to Grundy, and that number is actually going to be important for me this week. But that enjoyment factor of the game of not owning English, and he scored 136. He played fine. Just your man Shrek, he needs a proper preseason because he was
I
just
haven't watched a Freo game yet since he's been back.
Oh.
What's actually going on with him?
Well, he's still bullying. He was bullying English in the ruck. What kept on happening is he'd like throw English out the way. He'd hang on to it, and English would tackle him. I'm like, oh my god, stop giving him points. But the English played. He was under one of those games where he's under the pump. He's done well on Freo many times before. Like blowtorch in the media, wants all this money. They won't give it to him. Respond game, like come out firing. Like it was always going to happen, but. Just my team. I had no money to make an actual upgrade, so I'll just get the sideways out of the way. So I did that and brought in 2 loopholes, like in the middle of the buy. So I'm struggling with numbers, but at the same time, I don't want to be stuck with playing D7, like a dead D7, like because I was going to go thinking about Ari, but Nas was out, so is Nas coming straight back in for Ari? Well, based on how he played, probably not, but. Anyway, my team this week is that we're struggle town because Butters needs to. The Port have said they're thinking about appealing. Like, just please appeal. Surely, I think there's a few. I was looking at. I was on Big Footy. There's like Redmond did something similar and got a week, and then Hewitt did something similar, and I think Hewitt got off. I think very early in the year, and I think Hogan got off too. So, I don't know. Screw the MRO. They can sort that out, but who knows? So hopefully Butters gets off. But yeah, if Butters and Sexton don't get up, I'm fielding 16. And if a rookie comes through, I'll get 17. But I'm not going to blow trades just to cover. I know this is what trades are for, covering donuts and stuff, but I got to look after the team long term too. So
yeah.
We'll get into the agenda. I've got a few questions from Discord. Like 2 questions actually. Would you rather have 22 solid premiums, which maybe you're thinking about this, or have 23 and like your 22nd, 23rd be like worse? So say like a McKercher plus a Rosie, like you were thinking about when we're like before we started the pod. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
23 or 22. Yeah.
I was putting that. I mean, Yeah, you pinged me, I think, like, because I went the route with Simpkin this week. I said to me, look, not what, why not? I got rid of Sex. Oh, no, actually, I think I had Powell out and just did like a bit of a sideways because he obviously hasn't been performing. I'm still holding on to him. It's for stupid reason. So I went that route to make a bit of money, and then he was obviously a laid out. So I just ended up making another like sort of shitty downgrade, and I think got rid of like Jai Clark down to Kruger just to make another 100K or whatever. Because I got Sinclair in this week, and again, probably dumb because he's Dubai, but I don't give a shit at this point. Anyway, I've still got McKercher, right? So yeah, no, I think I'm going to have to get like a cheaper primo to keep McKercher, or I could upgrade McKercher to like a Merit or something, you know what I mean, or a top end premium. That's the kind of thing. So, but if I was to do that, I'd have to probably get rid of McKercher and use his money. So it's like, do I get in a worse one, keep McKercher on the bench, or do I get in a top end one but have to use his money to do so? And I'm probably just going to get in a cheaper one, I think. I don't really know the deal with him, though. I guess it depends on him and how he comes back, or if he's coming back at all, because I've held on to him still. So, look, I think it depends who you don't have. Like, if you don't have Sarong, if you don't have Butters, Ryan, Dacos, obviously Sheasel's still killing it. Houston, you're probably going to want to have to force in now if you don't have him still at this point after that big game. And then the usual suspects down forward. I mean, Zorko, you could still argue if you haven't got him by this point, George, do you just stick to that plan? Like, he's still gettable though, right? Because his break even was so big. So it's probably this week again, now or never.
They interviewed Sorko post game, and he was just saying he had a clean run this year, whereas last year was just constant interruptions. Just saying he was feeling good and stuff. So
yeah,
maybe that has something to do with his.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Every year is relevant for SuperCoach. He's just Iron Man, and then when he's not, he's just breaking down like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think my answer is long, to cut it short, is if you don't have any of those top echelon premiums, right? If you're still missing them, get that guy. But if you do have all of them and you don't feel like you're missing any of the top, 8 to 10 premiums across all the lines, then maybe go the cheaper route and get that better cover. Because there's going to be injuries. I mean, yeah, Jules, we say we're getting out of the buys, and there's still like 9 rounds to go, like 8 or 9 rounds to go.
10.
So it's true. It's something like that, isn't it? So long way to go, dude. And trades are probably running low for people. So having good cover is never a bad thing.
How many do you have left for trades?
I mean, finished team, I'm going to either have 4 or 3.
Yeah, okay.
Which is probably on the worst side, but I was flip-flopping all early season. So
yeah,
if you had more trades and maybe the luxury of, getting in a decent 23rd, but then you might be out of sideways one of your lesser premiums or whatever to get the better guy later on. Maybe leave that door open, but it's always a bit probably danger that, because what would that be? Would that be, could you get a Tom Green up to who are you going to get? What you're going to try and sideways Tom Green to Noah Anderson or something? If you had 100K, would you do that? Like,
yeah,
is that worth a trade? One of your last 5, 6, 7 trades left?
I think
probably not.
I don't think selling Green's a good idea. Just selling low, like surely, like even just looking at his scores, even before his like this crap run of 5 games, there's like a 70 and an 80 here, and there's like a random 150.
Yeah,
there's like 2 scores above 95 in 10 weeks. I don't know. Kind of stuck with him, so I think like similar to start of the year, like those that stuck with Dawson and LDU were rewarded. And I think with Green, there's just not a good enough reason to trade him. Like, he's been crap, but the role is still there. Like, the ceiling, like the potential is sort of there, but like I think he can't get any worse than this. Like, what is it, 5 round to 90 or something?
Yeah.
Surely he can do 100 to 105 for the rest of the season, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the 23rd. So as you're saying, like if you're missing like I don't know, like a Heaney or a Ryan or something, then probably go those guys. But I think for
Yeah.
the most part, I'd probably just go the 23.
Would you count Houston in that in those defenders? Like Ryan Dacos, she's is just an animal. So yeah. Obviously, I've made a lot of wrong decisions this year, but I was one saying like never trade Shees out. I don't care where he's playing on the park. It only took him a couple of weeks to get used to the midfield, and he's racking it up. So
Yeah.
Houston, it's kind of now, right?
Nah, I don't think Houston's like
In those top three.
he looks like a 110-ish would be. He's lower than 110 this week. Has a massive ceiling game, stack of inside 50s for Giants. But he plays. He's good. Like doesn't waste a touch. So I think there's defenders that can be not too far off Houston. So I don't think Houston's like. I don't think he's top 3. I think he's like in the 4 to 7 range. That's probably underselling him, to be honest. But there's a lot of you got to look at Sinclair with his Marvel run. Look what Ed Richards is doing. There's just a lot of really good plays that are not just Ryan, Dacos, and Sheasel. So I think there's a few plays that can sort of go with him. But
I
think you still have Nick Martin.
Yeah, I mean I have to.
Yeah,
Not in a position to make any move there. But yeah, I did see Sinclair, and if Nas comes back in for Bonner instead of Ari, that could be really good for the run home. They have all those marble games coming up, don't they? So
I think they leave once for the rest of the year. I think
he's getting a bit expensive though because he's on such a heater.
Yeah. I think that's all the questions. I've had a few here and sort of answered them in the last few.
Was it how many we're playing? I guess, which I think would you say, depending on Butters. And
Ask me on Thursday.
I think mine's 17, but that's including Butters and Kirch, who we don't really know if he's coming back. So if they're both out, I'd probably only get back to 17 with a couple of trades.
It's going to be rough. Yeah. There's still a few people out there that have 20 and stuff, but there's so many rookies and there's that are either dead or have the bye.
Yeah, well, Dowling was good, obviously, but a good option, but got the bye.
Yeah.
Kruger got him in, got the bye.
Yeah. I traded English and Matt Crouch. Imagine if I didn't trade those two, I'd be fielding 15 maybe. So
true.
Or I could have used that.
Frazier, all these playing rookies, all on bye. So
it's tough. So for me,
in essence, you're not losing a heap of points because they're rookies, but still, it's points.
Yeah, still Butters down this negative maybe 100 points. What's he averaging? 115 or something. That's a lot of points to go down the drain. They're hard to get those points back. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get to rookies soon, but. Like a Carl Warner we could get to that's sort of linked to Heath Chapman who didn't train today. So I think we can segue that into some news. So Dylan Moore is free, which is nice for us. Butters, I said, could get a week, but since we started recording, that's changed. So he's out for a week. Simpkin could play this week. Now, John Ralph, I think he was guessing, but he said he's pre-game. Simpkin's out. He's going to be out next week. And then Clarko said that he's a chance to play this week. So what that means, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the only reason why people went Simpkin is if they were doing stuff half an hour before the game. So
yeah. Almost me. I only got to that 20 minutes before.
Braden George is a rookie. He's played a bit of halfback, bit of forward for North. I think recently he's been playing a bit more forward in the VFL, but he's a highly rated talent. He's done his ACL, second one, so unfortunate. Hopefully he gets back. Will Powell's coming back this week. I think I barely open Facebook these days, but I've joined a few I'm like a Saints group and a Gold Coast group just for news and a random intel. So I'm going to be checking that to see where Power trains this week, assuming he's down back and see what happens with Sexton and stuff. But hopefully I can get a few track watchers can post what they find. And as I said before, Heath Chapman didn't train today, so linked to Carl Warner's job security was a late in. Good scorer, Carl, can score.
Yeah.
1/3. He's on the bubble, -63, break even. Injury list is not out yet. That'll come out Tuesday, but it was hamstring awareness. I'm sure he's gone for scans or something, but yeah, poor chap. He's had a pretty wretched run. But he would be the answer if Chapman was out for like 3 weeks, I reckon. But we'll let that play out. But then again, does he definitely play? I think I was watching, I think it was Wagner. He played pretty terrible, I thought, but I don't know. Worry about that when the injury report comes out.
Yep.
Any news you can think of that I've missed? I can't remember.
Not that I would have been keeping up with, mate. I rely on the news section of Discord these days.
Yep.
But I guess maybe only with Tiggs is probably, hopefully Kane's not sub again. Just think he should get a run. But that's what I was always worried about. Timmy's back. Then there's Hopper back, I think not too far away. So it's like, he should be playing though. Shouldn't be sub.
Yep. Next topic, we'll go into our taggers. Now they're everywhere at the moment, and it's not
this is
fun.
one thing I'm happy that look, no one's happy they're doing as bad as me, but if I was doing well at this point of the year, I'd be tearing my hair out watching them. I mean, it's happened to me all year, and obviously a lot of us, but I feel like every week 2 or 3 players have been getting tagged, and I just, it was Whitfield, or it was got Noah Anderson in and got James Jordan fucking first up, and then list goes on. Like obviously Butters and Green this week, or just so many, dude. Like it's like
Dawson's
2 or 3 teams seem like they were doing, but now it's like jumped to like 8 teams. Like
yeah. I hate it. It's terrible for the spectacle. I guess it's good if you want to win, if you want to negate a day cost, but bloody hell, it's annoying. But what do you do? So currently the taggers are Toby Bedford. So he tagged Butters. Now Bedford, let me check his height. I don't think he's a small forward, right?
Yeah. He's pretty small. I don't think he can tag many big mids, so it probably is a good opportunity to do something like that. Is that the first time he's tagged this year?
I think so. He's got Sydney this week. It's like, what do they? Can't really go to Heaney.
Be like a Warner, but he'd probably cook him. I don't think he will do that much.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be totally worried about that one.
Kind of, I was having a whinge about Peatling before for my fantasy team. Probably kick Peatling out of the team, taking those centre bounces. But next one is Max Michelini went to Warner. Whether that continues, I don't know. That's he did
he do well?
He did all right on Warner. It's just we played Dowling half forward, wing, and half back, but not midfield. I won't start. I don't know. I can't tell you if that continues or not, but we'll see. Will Phillips tagged.
I did watch this, and I guess that's one of the biggest stories. Yeah.
Dacos went ape shit after that, pretty much. You give Dacos a sniff, like he's just gonna give him an inch, will take a mile, sort of thing. So,
mate, he looks back and sees Liam Shields, like his eyes light up.
Yeah, Shields couldn't go with him. No. But if Simpkins back, you think Phillips is out the team. Clarker could not make it any more obvious that he has no time for Will Phillips. I mean, I'm
wondering if he has any time for coaching anymore. I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
yes. But I think listening to David King today, he was not happy. He's like, "Don't get beaten by what you know, Nick Dacos," and he's like, "Don't change a winner." Like Will Phillips having his probably like confidence. Confidence would be absolutely shot, and then subbed off. But I think Clarko said maybe he was fatiguing or something. I don't know, but you would think 3rd, 4th year player, like surely. Some other taggers, Alex Neil Bullen, he went to Neil. No, did he?
Not this week, but I think he did.
What did he do
before.
Week? He was.
Well, they didn't play, right? Did they? No.
Yeah, He didn't play.
Yeah.
So they have this week.
North.
Hopefully it goes to LDU, but who knows? It's one of those things where they're playing Cozzy Pickett high CBAs now because like Oliver's struggling, Viney's struggling,
Tracks out for the
Petrarca
year.
is in the hospital bed. So I think it does continue. Like, who knows though?
Yeah.
Even Wardlaw went off, so you could even look at him. But
Yeah, true.
like Jared Berry's been a pain in the ass as well. He's got Port. Does he go to like he's a bit of a
Rosie
bigger
type.
body?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Rosie started forward. I don't know what the CBAs were, but one to look out for. I know he's got Dawson coming pretty soon. I think Windhager will continue on the bye now, but I think there's like you can sort of predict before the game if Windhager's going to tag or not. It's Neil or Dacos pretty much. Like after the bye, he's got Port. Like you would think he's going to Butters, but or even Horn Francis potentially, but it's one to wait and see. But teams can kind of probably see that Butters is taggable.
Yeah.
Chincotta is tagging as well. A bit of a different tag. I think he's I don't think he starts in the CBA. He just rolls up. Like that's what he did with Merritt. So Merritt was able to get a few points at stoppage, but after that it was pretty tough for him. So that's annoying. Drew's still kind of there. Like it's not like the hardest tag, but it's sort of similar to like a Nash. Puts a bit of attention into him. And probably the biggest terrorist of the lot is James Jordan, who's got a designated target every week. That could be a mid, could be a defender. Who knows? And then like Nash is there as well, but like it's similar to Drew. It's kind of always going to be there, match up on the bigger body.
Yep.
Can you even? You can't really avoid this anymore. You're just going to have to cop a few. But I think Neil and Dawson are the two that are going to cop it probably the worst on the way home, especially Neil in the next few rounds.
I mean, someone will do it, but it's probably hard to find a mid that doesn't have at least one of these teams coming up in the next 10 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think we've ever seen this much tagging going on since like 2010. Like, still don't even think there was that many back then. Like back then, there was your true taggers who literally just had to do that every week, like Lingy and Crowley and stuff. But now it just seems like every team's got that guy they might go to, might not. Like, mate, Richmond hasn't tagged since I've been able to, eat and drink, and then they put Marlon Pickett on someone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, I know it's a different coach, but still, like, it just seems every coach is seeing how well it's working for other teams, maybe, and going, maybe we need to look into it. And a lot of players around the comp, like Will Phillip types, that hasn't worked so far for him. So let's try this for you, mate. Like, I think hasn't he been working like doing that in the VFL? He's been doing jobs like. I think someone said. So I don't know. And I'm not saying every tag is a bad player. Like James Jordan's a good player, but that's just the role they found for him. Same with like a Windy or something. Like that's their best fit for them in the team. So if they're going to be in the team, they're going to have the job.
There's not much we can do about it. It's just, I think, try not to get them on the week they get tagged, maybe 2 weeks. So, for example, like Neil last week, you couldn't really go.
I think the ones to most be worried about would be Jordan, Windy. Drew kind of always just mans up on someone. I don't know. He doesn't always hard tag. And probably Barry's been doing it a bit more regularly.
Yeah.
And maybe Neil Bullen, I guess. Just now with track out for the year, like he's probably just going to play midfield. So he's probably going to be on someone most weeks. The rest I don't think I'd worry about as much.
Yeah. Like Bedford and
Bedford, I think, is just a one-off.
Things. Yeah. Can't predict that.
Michelini, well, I didn't even see that. Did you see that coming? Probably never.
So I'm warming up in the CBA.
Well,
actually, I'm pretty sure I loaded a game of League after that. And we started winning.
Dowling at half forward, and you just said.
And then, started losing again. But yeah, it's good to bond. It's starting to bond with Port supporters over our hatred over who runs the club. But Can't help mention that stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll get into rookies. What a disaster rookies have been recently. All the cash was probably at the start of the year, and a few runs after that were like a Sam Darcy and Closey and stuff came through. But
Or
pretty
just the random ones you miss. Like, hasn't that that key forward for Brizzy that no one would have picked
Morris, yeah.
made like 150k? Like,
Is he?
who got
You're
him
kidding.
in? Like,
Oh my god, he's 265.
you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I watched Morris play Metro games. So it was
Oh,
randomly on
really?
TV, and that's when you're starving for content, when you're watching Metro in off season. He took like 12 marks one game and scored 200. And I watched that game. I'm like, this guy's dominating. You know what he scored next week?
6 or
5.
something. Yeah.
200 and then 5. I was like, what the hell? He's good. Like, he's a good player. But yeah, can't get them all. But yeah, random rooks like Lohman as well. Lohman's, I think, is pushing 4.
He's not as random as Morris though, but yeah, he's a good player. Absolutely good player.
But it looks like the rookies are Kruger, Seanmaker, Dowling, and Carl Warner. Warner we spoke about. It's just, I think you can pick him if Chapman's out for a bit, but there's still like a few moving parts in that defense. Like, do they keep playing Wagner? I don't know. So that's him. But if again, Chapman's out for a bit, he'd be the one. And then the rest are on their bye. So Dowling, Seanmaker, and Kruger. Kruger, I think, is so injury prone, and like the ruck cover's just whatever. Like, key forward, 60 average in the VFL. Like, I'm not really excited to pick this. On a timer as well, with Cox back in, I think, 5 weeks or so. So you would think he goes out for that, or when Mychek's back, could they keep Frampton in because he's a bit more ruck support? Although I think I did see Kruger rucking a little bit, but
I
I don't
him
know.
now. I fixed Simpkin to him, so I'm thinking a few people might have done that because it was on the Sunday.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have him, I probably wouldn't go him ahead of these other ones.
Yeah. Probably another one that I haven't written here is Kieran Strawn. Got the biggest ass beating you've ever seen by Grundy.
There's no way he's
like
man,
25 contested or something stupid, 30 touches, or something like that.
Rob's leaving the Crows, isn't he?
You tell me. I don't know.
I mean, I know him through Harry, but like, I don't speak to him, so I'm not going to ask him that.
Okay, yeah. That's just like big footy talk, but
I mean, why would he be dropped anyway? Like, I know he's not a superstar, but he's got to be better than Kieran Strawn or whatever the hell he is.
I mean, it's half the reason why I brought in Grundy, to be honest. Like, I saw Nank destroy him.
Absolutely. No brainer. If Grundy had, 30 touches or something?
This is, we don't have a ruckman, basically, because I don't know if Rob's, like, checked out of the Crows or... Because we've dropped him before, and...
Yeah, it has been
his tap works, like, he's physical in the ruck contest, and he's, like, gets the taps, but the taps aren't great, which I think is probably the explanation of why he's dropped. He's clearly far better than Strawn, but I don't think Rob played that well in the SNFL. But he got like played against 2 rucks or something. One to watch. Thilthorpe is back in 3 weeks. Like, I dare say he could solo ruck at this point. Maybe one to watch for F6 or something. But I think they will probably play forward. But just a bit of an issue with the rucks. But I certainly would be playing Rob over Strawn, who probably should be delisted now.
Yeah.
No slight on him, just not. Can't compete like that. And
he's already old, really, isn't he? Like
28.
28, yeah.
We don't have a developing ruck. We only keep backup plumbers on the list.
Yeah. I mean, not to spend too much time. I know Rob's limited. Like, he's clearly only got like 1 or 2 strings to his bow, if that. But still got to be better than the other option.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I wouldn't go there because I think that's. I don't know how you can keep him in the team after that, but Seanmaker looked good. I can't see him. Surely they don't drop him. Like, he played well. I think the knock on him is potentially he's got some defensive stuff to work on, but his kicking's pretty good, and You
Hey,
can't possibly
Bonner's
tell me
played.
that.
How long's Bonner
Yeah,
played with defensive stuff to work on? Like, come on.
yeah. I think
Seriously.
he'll keep playing.
Has to.
The one I'd probably go is Dowling.
If you don't have
Yeah.
Dowling, for sure. Yeah. But obviously not this week, though. Unless you
It's
had
like
enough players. Like, if you had enough playing, maybe you'd do him. And if you didn't have him.
I just look at the Crows here, like Berry, Schomburg, like Cook's getting like 5 touches a game, like Lockie Murphy's still getting a game. Like I do feel like we should play him, and like Dowling's flexible too, so like slightly worry that he could be sub. I don't think he will be though, but yeah, I think there's worse in the Crows list, so I think he'll keep playing Billy Dowling. So people have asked me about Dowling. Is he going to get dropped? I'm just like, no, he's 100% locked for the season. Now, that's not actually true. Like, I can't guarantee that, but I just believe that he will do well enough, and I just back that judgment in. So he's the one where he's your budget 23rd, I reckon.
Or you feel like you guys would lose enough to where he just has to play out the year anyway. Like,
yeah, like he had a few turnovers, but
second game.
yeah, tough team, and like
Whereabouts? I mean, you guys obviously can still make
as
finals.
far away
So.
from stoppages as we can. It's the challenge that we're doing at the moment. But
would you, if you didn't have him, and say this was whoever their team's last like trade in, they're doing their last upgrade and getting their last rookie or whatever, would you get him on, like, say they still had 18, 19 this week, would you do that and get him over all the other options, like a Warner? Or you do that? Even no one buy? Or would you wait and see his name next week?
If Chapman's out for 3, I'd go Warner because you get the score and then the instant cash. I'd go that.
And then just do Dowling next week.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it could be decent cover.
And you'll make money. So, like, if you're sitting on 4 trades, like, well, I'm sitting on 5 at the moment. That's before Sexton. Inevitably, something happens there. But sitting on 4, you leave Dowling there. I reckon he'll get to 300K.
If he plays, yeah.
And then maybe in, like, round 18 or 19 or whatever, flick him and someone else to a 23rd. I don't know. Regardless, I think he's going to – if you need cover, I think he's your guy, and you can do worse than him. So, anyway, that's the rookies. I will touch on some pods to finish your team. I'm going to read them out and tell me if you think they're good.
Yep.
Jordan Ridley, 560K, 3 round of 128 in 10% of teams.
Whoa. Yeah, definitely. Yep. I'd be.
He did have that. Yeah, had that moon game against Richmond, as most of these intercept defenders do, like a Sicily this week. Sicily's got him again too, but yeah, he's doing quite well. 162, 111, 112. I'm skipping. I think durability is an issue, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Jeremy McGovern, 15%. So these are the top 1%. 15% of teams, 109, 5 round, 107 average for the season. He's someone that you'd look at.
Not for me. I mean, I know he's been good. And he usually is. Whenever he plays, he usually is. But that's always a problem. So, look, I'm happy with Ridley, and he does have durability problems. But I mean, it's a bit different with McGovern, who has the 10 years of history of not finishing out seasons or copping something here and there, and just the nature of his game. He's always copping some big hit because he flies for everything. It's just the way he plays. So, not for me, but scoring wise, no issue at all.
I'm the same. I was looking through leagues when I was doing my weekly video, and I was looking through like players and other like people in other communities, and there's just McGovern everywhere.
McGovern, yeah.
But yeah, that's I guess.
How many in the top? Did you say 15? Okay, probably not enough. Well, I would give you a few ranks if his usual knock happens down the stretch, which is probably coming. Like, there's no way he plays out the year, right? Every game from here.
He's one that went to Qatar with Yo.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, he can score, no doubt, but I guess we've voiced our concerns. That's just us. Jackson Clay is balling at the moment, 11%. I think he's mostly back to defense can go in the mids if they need him. But yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one. I mean, I got him, so it's clear. But he's the one I like the most out of whoever we've mentioned so far. Problem was, getting him last week. He had the bye this week. I did it anyway. But if you got him a couple weeks ago, it would have been nice. But yeah, get him after bye if you can afford it for 580. I think I like him more than Nick Martin at this point. Like, not any more than Ryan Dacos, Sheasel, Houston, but I'd honestly put him close to just behind them, maybe alongside Jordan Clark. Maybe still below Jordan Clark because of the nature of their game styles, but I think he's back there, got that role, and it's a guessing game. But I gotta think Bonner's out of that team sooner rather than later. It's been coming for about 3 months, and just the way the Saints are going, surely.
Yeah. One slight flag is they have James Jordan in 2.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? Fucking hell.
I think he's a great pick, though.
Yeah.
Just like maybe if you can loop him that week or something, just in case, but we'll see. Your man, Jack Crisp, he's 110. I think he's 113, 114 since going to the midfield. You can do worse than Crisp at the moment.
You can do way worse. I'd prefer him over. Geez, I probably would over Nick Martin. Obviously, there's some recency bias there, but I just think, I mean, if we want to talk about Nick Martin, I just think that Holmes, he's going to have those up and downs now. He's not doing what he was doing early on. I mean, it's happened for a while. It's not anything new.
Yeah.
He's going to have some big games, I still think, in him, because when Essendon win and he's moving up the ground second halves of games, he's going to have those big scoring opportunities. But there's going to be games I still think where was it last week? He didn't play this week. He just butchered the hell out of it. And it's just, that's what I saw round 1, and that's why I jumped off.
Did you get him back? You didn't get him back, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
when he dropped, when he was at a decent price point. So yeah, bad. I mean, he hasn't been horrible, but not quite what we thought.
Yeah, like his DT's not too bad. The clangers are still there in his game. So I don't know why I thought they would go away, but they haven't.
Yeah.
This is
he
a
has
problem.
1 ton in the last 5, and it was 100 flat.
Yeah, like a 90 average is not horrific, but when you see Sinclair going like 115 plus, Ridley 115 plus the last few, like Richards, and there's just so many other defenders that are going to do 110 plus, I think. You're giving up 20 points a week over 10 weeks, 200 points. Like, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing we can do about it now, but hopefully, like, the kick-ins have dried up since Ridley has come in as well. Even before Ridley came in, they dried up a bit. But he's 55% owned, so he'd definitely be one to move off if you can, if you didn't last week. But otherwise, if you're like me, stuck with him, then yeah, you're probably stuck with him too. We're both sub 4 or 5 trades.
Yep.
Moving to the midfield, LDU, Treloar, Libba. So LDU, 5 round of 128, 24% owned in the top 1%. Treloar, 119 average, 8% owned, top 1%. And Libba is 0.1% owned, 113 average. Any interest in Libba, Treloar, LDU? I think Libba, Treloar. So LDU and Treloar are probably same price, 610. Libba is 550.
It's got to be LDU, clear, surely.
Yeah.
Looks back to his best, moving a lot better. North are playing really good footy. I think that's the big part too. North are playing good footy. Like, if
they've got a really nice run for mids.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, what is it? D's this week. Dogs maybe not the best, but
it's the work rate.
At the end of the year. Yeah, God, that's good.
Next few's actually not great because you would have needed him for Collingwood, Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Dogs, Gold Coast, Swans, Carlton. But after that, pretty easy.
Yeah.
I didn't pick LDU for durability, but he's holding up all right and looks good, and the upside is massive. So I think, playing for your highest possible rank, he's definitely one to look at for sure over the other two.
I mean, the other two have their durability problems as well, right? So
yeah. Jumping off players in the midfield. So Steele, 53%. He's 5 round of 97, and Tom Green, 84% owned, 5 round of 89.
Man,
Would you, if you could, would you jump off Steele this week, given he's on the bye?
Man, who do you trust more? You got him and Green, so
No, I traded
What-
Steele.
oh, you did trade still. So that answered the question, I guess, because you held on to Tom. So I don't know. I haven't watched Steele enough lately. I did watch this week, and he just didn't get really near it much. I don't know.
He played half forward in the last quarter. They ran Henry, Dow, and someone else in the midfield. I'll have a quick suss, but I think combination of like ever since they announced that knee issue, it's just been downhill from there. And a bit like last year, it's kind of hard to tell, is something bothering him or is this Steele? I couldn't tell you, but also Jared Berry tagged him. I would actually, if you just stuck with him and low trades, I think there's worse M8s. I do worry slightly about the half 4 time. I don't know if that continues, but yeah, they had a starting center bounce, or not starting, like fourth quarter. I think it was Tom Campbell, Liam Henry, Paddy Dow, and it might have been like Seb Ross or Zach Jones or something, or Windy. This is crazy. It's like,
And they're kind of coming back.
and they
as well.
nearly won the game with it. So I think jump off if you can. Just the nature of Steele is like, is he injured? Is he not? Picks up stuff. I would feel okay jumping off, but I think there's a chance that he turns it around off with a rest. So
It's just trade dependent, dude. If you had all these trades, 8, 9 or something,
yeah,
go for it. Go for it.
And yeah, Tom Green we discussed before. Like, it's just he's not worth much. But if you flush for trades and money, I probably would next week, not this week. Which when he'll probably bounce back if he does. Rucks, in terms of pods, I think Marshall, you can probably rule out the threat of Tom Campbell now. I think that it's possible that could continue. It takes a bit of a load off role, and he's had a few games where he's copped a few bad knocks, but I think R1 is
happened, but it did. It had to,
Yeah.
I guess. He was shouldering such a load. He's had some good games, and it's just like he hasn't. He plays a lot of game time too, to Rowan, so it's caught up to him.
Yeah.
It's got to be Grundy, doesn't it? At this point, we can't dismiss him any longer.
Yep.
Probably was all along, but we never really wanted to say it. Like he did have some poor games, but he's really taken advantage of the good matchups, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, give him a sniff. Even like his last 5, 150, 150. This 86 against the Dogs was like a 130 DT.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then 117 on Carlton, 102 against Freo, 140. Like it's pretty insane. His scoring and yeah.
He still had a hell of a lot of clangers on the weekend, didn't he, too? And this disposal wasn't good, but he just has so much contested ball and clearance, and it's all those like ruck hards, right? He's just taking out the ruck. You get a few points for that. Kick out of stoppage, Hopefully it's long and to a pack, and it's like points. Like, he had 10 clangers that went 38%. It still drops 150.
Yeah. I think just how he plays. He just throws himself around.
Yeah.
Gives away the odd free, and just a lot of his handballs like underground, like dishes it out, just gets it out, spills, goes to a position, like ineffective, whatever. But no, he's looking like R2 at the moment. Probably R3. I don't know. Maybe Sherry. It's been good.
It's Cherry or English. Yeah. I'll still say English just because the nature of his game. Like he can get the ruck, and it doesn't, if he's not moping around, he'll pick up his 25 and take a lot of marks around the ground. Probably, maybe kick a goal and a lot of kicks, long kicks. Like he's just another seagull out there at times. So,
yeah.
Cherry's being bloody good though. Got to give him some respect.
Yeah, and then Tom de Koning has a 3-round.
He's a saucy one.
140, 139. Now, Pitnet's been unavailable, and I think there's the threat of him playing is still real. I think Pitnet's like his stats were quite good when he was actually rucking. So it's a tough one. I'm trying to get the injury list up just to see when he's coming back, but I'm pretty sure he's not far off. He's a test. He was a test last week, didn't play, so he looks like he's going to potentially play. He's 510k. He's one where I think if you'd go him, I think you'd need to pair with Jackson just in case the weeks that Pitney plays. His average is like I think in the low 90s with Pitney. So I'm kind of guessing, looking at numbers, but Solo should, it could be anything really. Could be the highest player in the game based on 3 weeks, but I'm not sure. And a lot of it's just contested bowl, like grabbing it out. It's not a lot of hit outs, so probably sustainable, I guess, because it doesn't rely on hit outs, but I don't know.
I think if you knew Pito was out for the year, sure, be my guess.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun one to ride. He's, I think just the good thing is like with Grundy, there's probably in one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the comp from the run home. They're going to win most games.
Yeah,
when he plays well, they're often winning. But yeah, I think I said last week, Bossy always just loves to bring Pito back in when he's good to go. I don't know why.
Yeah. And then the last pod, if you can get to Isaac Rankin, he was rested a bit. I forgot his CBAs, but I think the mid-time is going to be pretty healthy from here on out with no Crouch. And is sort of not convinced on Schonberg or
this is my
Berry.
question, George. This might be the same for a lot of people. I don't know. Luke Jackson, get the ruck cover, or Rankin for the upside of the scoring. Like that might be a lot of people's like last F6. They've got Yahini, Moore, Fisher, Zorko, Flanders. That's their last spot. What are you saying?
If you need a body this week, Jackson.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, one plays this week, one doesn't. But
I think the highest upside play is probably Rankin because you're just really depending on Shrek's fitness, really. I think I didn't like Jackson as a starting pick, and he's actually been good because even though it's been a hard own with Darcy sometimes, or most of the time, when we were stuffing around with Sweet and trading out R2s and stuff, he could have been there to cover instead of rushing to get a ruckman when Sweet went down. If I had more trades, I'd go Rankin. If I had on the lower end, I'd go Jackson for safety.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he only needs one week out.
I mean, that could be the winning move, right? Is having all of them, having 7 forwards, those 7. You can swing Fisher to defense if you had the loop sitting in the, your defender bench. And you've got flexibility, They can cover the midfield, you can cover the ruck line. I think that's like probably the best team. I think it's that team that's sitting in like the second or third. It's got like he's already got 23 premiums and they're all good, like no dodgy ones.
I think that was the play. Get 24, get good 6 defenders, good mids, Gorn Grundy, get those 7 forwards, and then
Jackson
have like get an Ed Richards later or something to swing at D7.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a lesson for next year. That's the
goal.
It's
a lesson, but you also got to hit the right plays at the right time, start the right ones, not start the frauds. And you still got to get, fortunate in that sense. But yeah, I started Jackson over Flanders, then I got Flanders in, and I traded Jackson out when Shrek was back, and it's just like whole, stuff up.
Yeah,
sets you back. But yeah.
Yep. So your ranking is only 9.5% of team. So those people, those people that have like a Kerno F6, you could be putting 15 plus points a week on that. And that's 150 points post buy. So
yep.
We haven't spoken about Sexton. We'll cross that bridge on Thursday. Chatting in the Discord about that. Who knows? But VC and C. Have you had a look? I'm thinking Gorn into Ryan.
No, I haven't. Now that I am, it's a bit of a harder week, I guess, than
No Bont this week. No Dacos.
than usual. Yeah, I mean, I guess Merritt, if you had him, would you against West Coast? Usually that's been the go, but has he? It's been a bit
He
weird with
hasn't
him
put up
lately.
one score over 140 this year.
Yeah. Gorn does obviously seem logical. It's hard to swerve him one way or
Sherry's
the
pretty
other.
good in the ruck.
Cherry is good though. Yeah. What's their recent history? Is there
Don't know if
much?
they've even played each other before.
Yeah, they may not have. You're right. Or he may not have without like a Grundy last year or whatever. Yeah. Question is, do I VC someone before? Like, I mean, who's the option? Walsh.
Gordon or Heaney or something.
Yeah, it's one of the Swans boys. Brizzy won't tag Butters. Maybe they do with Berry. I'm not sure. Tough one. Yeah. I'll probably land on yours, or I might just go stupid and go Walsh into Gorn, because Max is always pretty decent backup.
Yep. Yeah, we don't go on into. I think Walsh probably due for a big one. Just needs to fix up his kicking. Probably needs a week off. Headed low tog for a bit, but yeah, going into Ryan for me.
Yep.
That is it for the podcast. Anything else to add?
No, mate. Pretty disappointed on Sunday. Cheering for pick one, and just to get it ripped out of my heart like that.
North are coming.
Forget about how the North fans feel, but it was ridiculous, that game.
I tell you what, Melbourne will be nervous against North this week, I reckon.
Yeah, no, honestly, the way that both teams are playing, North should. I mean, they won't be favourites, but they shouldn't be too far off.
Yeah.
Especially no track. Clary isn't, still hasn't really got back to anywhere near his best. Thing is, can North, after that game and such a sort of a deflating loss, that can often a team that's still young can, knock them back for a week.
Yeah.
Week or two. That's the only worry.
I felt like they're celebrating the win. Not really a win.
But just to lose from that far in front is just.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you in anything? You ever been up two sets to love, full love, and choked it? Or
in juniors, I had one of the worst losses of all time. Grand final, 5-1 up. We're playing one set. We're kids, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
To win the season, 5-1 up. I was versing this Croatian kid that he used to, his dad used to force him to train, and he hated tennis. And his father's going like this to him.
So he's whooping you, but he doesn't even want to believe it. But he doesn't even want to play.
No, I'm 5-1 up, and I lose.
Oh, you're
and we
whooping,
lose the season. It's the worst choke of all time. The guy was on his knees with his hands in his head winning. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Get me out of this. I remember my teammates.
A big one.
I was saying, one of my teammates had his hands in his head, just he couldn't believe I lost that game.
Well, yeah, because you all played right.
Match point too, but that's another story.
So you were the last match of the day.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Oh god.
I haven't recovered from that.
Sorry.
But what about you? Have you had a loss like that in footy?
Well, I was gonna say, I can't really think of any big chokes. But that's probably why, you would forget about it. It's probably happened in footy before. Played a lot of footy games growing up, so I'm sure it's happened. But I can only remember the comebacks, down 30 points at 3/4 time, kick 6 in a row, and win the prelim like that. I guess if that happened to me on the reverse side, I probably would remember it. So I don't think it really has. Nothing that big, anyway. Basketball maybe, but what do you count? Like a 20-point lead lost in juniors? I don't know. Can't remember that. So no, I can't really remember. But yeah, it just would be. I mean, it's obviously happened to teams I've watched. It happened not long ago to the Nuggets, mate. We 20 points up, game 7, and lost. So yeah, no, I know what it's like as a fan. It's horrific, but yeah, I just think it might be hard for North to bounce back from that the direct week after, but we'll see. Hopefully they do.
Maybe they get a bit of belief, but yeah.
I want to be on the bottom of the ladder, George. So close.
We don't even know how to tank properly.
That's the thing. That's why I'm always worried about those. Like in the past, like we have just been that never really bottomed out. I mean, like we did mid 2000s, but
Welcome
just
back.
too many, like, you know, 9th obviously, but to like 14th type things. And
Yeah.
we needed Melbourne to take Trengove and Scully with pick 3 to get Dusty. So
Jeez.
I mean, pick 1 is cursed, to be honest. Like I was speaking to my North mate, he doesn't want pick 1 anyway anymore. Like it's just too much has gone on recent times with it. So
I think that
anyway.
whole Francis haven't recovered from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's pick a nice
Anyway.
Vic country kid or something. You'll be right.
Yeah, he won't want to leave, mate.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up there. Sorry to North fans out there, but
I'm only trolling.
Yeah, I mean we're bottom 4 too.
I actually do like North. I wanted to see him win. I was very upset yesterday.
Yeah,
probably more so because it's Collingwood. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. Bloody Collingwood. Too lucky. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.